In the heart of Africa, where the sun burns high and the earth pulses with life, there flows a river unlike any other. The Nilotic tribes call it Bahr el Ghazal, the River of Gazelles, a name that whispers of its grace and vitality. To outsiders, it may appear as just another waterway winding through the land. But for the Nilotic people, the Dinka, Nuer, and Shilluk, it is the lifeblood of their culture, the cradle of their ancestors, and the keeper of their future. Long ago, before the first villages took root along its banks, the River of Gazelles was born of a pact between the earth and the sky. The rain fell in great torrents, carving channels through the plains, while the earth rose to embrace it, cradling its waters in endless wetlands. Together, they created a landscape teeming with life, vast grasslands where antelopes danced, forests alive with birdsong, and swamps brimming with fish. The Nilotic tribes, nomads in search of sustenance, came upon this paradise and settled there. They believed the river was a divine gift sent by their gods to nourish both body and spirit. It was said that the river held the memories of their ancestors, and its waters sang songs of wisdom for those who listened. The people of Bahr el Ghazal lived in harmony with the river. By day, the men herded cattle across the floodplains, their chants echoing across the grasslands. To the Nilotes, cattle were more than animals. They were wealth, family, and a bridge to the divine. Without the river's fertile plains, the cattle would not thrive, and neither would the people. Women tended to the crops on the riverbanks, growing sorghum and millet in the rich black soil. The children learned to fish in its waters, their laughter mingling with the splash of nets and the hum of dragonflies. The river gave everything: food, water, and even stories. At night, under skies thick with stars, elders would gather the young to recount tales of the river's spirit, Naikang, the protector of balance, who ensured that the river always flowed and life always flourished. One year the balance began to falter. The rains did not come as they should, and the river's flow weakened. The cattle grew thin, the fields cracked under the sun, and the fish vanished from the swamps. Whispers of fear spread through the villages. Had the river spirit been angered? In one Dinka village, a young boy named Deng dreamed of the river every night. In his dreams, he saw Nikang, a figure half human, half water, pleading for help. "The river is wounded," the spirit said, its voice like the rush of water over stones. "The land suffers because the balance has been broken." When Deng shared his dreams with the elders, they fell silent. They knew of the ancient prophecies that spoke of a child chosen by the river, but they feared to hope. Desperate, they entrusted Deng with a sacred task: to journey to the heart of the Sud wetlands, where the river's spirit was strongest, and discover how to heal it. Accompanied by his sister Awile and a Nuer warrior named Kuol, Deng set out. Their path was treacherous, filled with the dangers of the wild. Crocodiles lurking beneath the surface, storms that turned the plains to mud, and rival clans guarding their dwindling resources. Yet, the trio pressed on, guided by Deng's visions and the whispers of the river itself. Deep in the Sud wetlands, they found the source of the river's ailment. A dam of human hands had choked the river's flow, built by outsiders who sought to harness its power for industry. The waters had grown stagnant, and the life it supported had begun to wither. "Why would they do this?" Awile asked, her voice trembling with anger. "They do not see the river as we do," Deng replied. "To them, it is a tool, not a gift." The trio devised a plan to free the river. Kuol, with his strength, would dismantle the dam piece by piece. Awile, quick and clever, would distract the guards who patrolled the structure. Deng, trusting his connection to Naikang, would call upon the river's spirit to aid them. As Kuol worked, Deng knelt at the river's edge, his hands submerged in its murky waters. He closed his eyes and whispered a prayer. "Naikang, hear me. This river is your body, and we are your children. Guide us as we restore what has been broken." The water began to stir. A great surge of energy rushed through the wetlands, and the dam cracked and crumbled under its force. The guards fled, terrified by the sudden fury of the river. The waters roared to life, flooding the plains once more. When Dung returned to his village, the river was flowing again, and life began to return. The cattle grew fat, the fields turned green, and fish danced in the waters. The people celebrated Dung and his companions, but the boy insisted that the true hero was the river itself. "We must never forget," Dung said, addressing the gathered tribes. "The river is not ours to command. It is a partner, a gift, and a responsibility. We must care for it as it cares for us." From that day forward, the Nilotic tribes made a new covenant with the river. They established sacred days to honor Kong, taught their children to respect the balance of nature, and vowed to guard the river from harm.